Switzerland, a small, landlocked country with a population of just 8 million people. Most of them centred on a plateau bordered by the natural frontiers of the Alps and the Jura. Its largest cities, Geneva and Zurich, are among the most important financial centres in the world. The country itself, one of the most developed. It's the home of the International Red Cross and has a long history of armed neutrality. It hasn't been at war since 1815 and the time of Napoleon. It's still known officially as the Swiss Confederation, a title which originated in the Middle Ages. It wasn't one nation called Switzerland as we know it today. It was a league, an alliance of small territories known as Cantons. At the time of Dornach, there were 8. Today, there are 26. Our knowledge of the region is usually hazy when compared with France or Britain or Germany in the Middle Ages.
It's got the castles, it's got the big lakes, it's got really beautiful scenery. And people think they probably know more about it than they actually do. And it's only when you get down to the details you realise that it's a place that was quite important in the medieval period. Our perception of medieval Switzerland is probably somewhat distorted, and we don't really know much about it, or I certainly don't anyway. In the great scheme of things, it's quite a small region. It's a mountainous region, but even so, geographically, it's a very small area. And for some reason, in the later medieval period, it becomes incredibly important, and that's an anomaly we like to investigate.
Towards the end of the 15th and the beginning of the 16th centuries, the people of this small region had a disproportionate influence on many important events and battles of Central Europe. There was a strength in their character, a belief in the way they were bound together in the face of adversity.
You have an echo of this in the Swiss now. I think the Swiss, like the English, owe a lot of their general character to geography. In England, we live in an island, and we've been able to fight off most invaders because we live on an island. And so do the Swiss. They live in a sort of island of lakes and mountains, and by being united and getting all the people together, they have fought off invaders and threats.
Tim has come to Switzerland to find out more about this character, the country, and its extraordinary place in medieval history. The Battle of Dornach was the final act in a conflict that began 7 months before. It was called in Germany Der Schweizerkrieg, the Swiss War. Now it's more commonly known as Der Schwabenkrieg, the Swabian War. It was fought between the Swiss cantons and the greatest power in Europe, the Holy Roman Empire. It was called Holy Roman, but the empire was German. Swabia was an ancient region of southwestern Germany, encompassing the areas known today as Baden-Württemberg and Bavaria. It was the homeland of the original Holy Roman Emperor, Charlemagne the Great, and of several historic dynasties, among them the Hohenzollerns and the Welfs, ancestors of the Hanoverians and the British royal family. Most powerful of all were the Habsburgs, whose king, Maximilian I, ruled the empire at the very end of the 15th century. In early 1499, local disputes came about over control of trade routes through the mountain passes between Swabia and the cantons. Argument turned to skirmish, raid and counter-raid. Swabia called on the support of its Habsburg king and emperor. The smaller cantons locked arms for mutual support as the Confederacy. The inevitable outcome was war. From January to July 1499, fighting raged through the Rhine Valley to Lake Constance. But if the Habsburgs and Swabians were expecting to crush the small cantons, they were mistaken. Again and again the Confederacy took them on, and saw them off. On July the 19th, 1499, an imperial army of around 16,000 men attacked Solothurn, intending to besiege and capture the important frontier castle at Dornach. Instead, 3 days later, on July the 22nd, they suffered a shocking, total defeat. No surrender was taken. Even the imperial wounded were killed. Hundreds, perhaps thousands of bodies lay strewn across the landscape, from the castle to the bridge and beyond.